So, you've just received your Dygma Raise 2 and are eager to try your new keyboard immediately. However, you open the travel case and see a bunch of cables and a tiny USB hub with 3 ports, and naturally you might feel a bit confused. But don't worry, we're here to help you set up your Dygma Raise 2 and get you up and running in no time. Hi, I'm Michele Corby, also known as Dygman, and I'll be your guide today. Let's start with the basics. Connect your keyboard wire. All Dygma Raise keyboards come with a neuron. This neuron works for the wireless Dygma Raise 2 and the wired Dygma Raise 2. First, connect the neuron to the computer using the 5 feet or 150 centimeter C2C cable. You can also use the shorter 50 centimeter cable. If your computer doesn't have USB-C ports, that's okay. We've included a C2A adapter in the case too. What's important is that you connect the neuron correctly. You need to plug the cable to the end where there's only one port, and then connect the other side to your computer. Now connect the sides of the keyboard to the neuron using the 1 foot or 30 centimeter cables. You can also use the 50 centimeter cable that I mentioned before, but not the longer 150 centimeter cable. That's just for connecting the neuron to the computer. It can also be used to strangle an annoying coworker. We all have one of those. But we don't take responsibility for that use. If you have a wireless Dygma Raise 2, we recommend turning the switches on the back of the keyboard off while using the keyboard in wired mode. And that's it! Your keyboard should light up just like this. Let's move now to low latency RF. Connect the neuron to the computer like in wired mode. You can use any of the provided cables, including the 1 foot or 30 centimeter long ones. And now just disconnect the cables from each side and turn them on. Boom! You are in RF mode. Finally, let's see how you can connect your keyboard via Bluetooth to up to 5 devices. Connect the neuron in the slot under the left side of the keyboard. Then turn both sides on. The keyboard will start pulsing blue, and the Raise 2 will show up amongst the available Bluetooth devices on your computer. Press Connect on your computer. A number will pop up on the screen. Press those numbers on the keyboard, and now it's connected. A critical thing in this step is that the numbers in the number row have to be the basic numbers. Do not use SUPERKEYS or number pad numbers. They will conflict with the code simple. Of course, in the default layout, those numbers are normal numbers. But maybe if you restored a backup from your original Raise, you could have SUPERKEYS in the number row. You can pair the Raise 2 with up to 5 devices. Once you plug the neuron into the back of your keyboard, you'll see it change to Bluetooth pairing mode. In Bluetooth pairing mode, green means active channel, white means assigned channel, blue means available channel, and holding red deletes the pairing on that channel. Press the desired channel to switch between devices or pair new ones. To switch between devices, press the Bluetooth pairing button and select the desired channel to switch device. By default, the Bluetooth pairing button is on layer 3 under the C key. You can also reflash the firmware to reset all your Bluetooth connections, but we are getting ahead of ourselves. Let's talk now about the battery life and how to charge your keyboard. The Dygma Raise 2 has a 2370 mAh battery on each side, for a total of 4740 mAh. With the current firmware, the Raise 2 lasts up to 20 hours with full LED brightness. With brightness up to 30% and True Sleep active, you can expect 3 to 4 days. Without LEDs, a bit over that. We are working to improve that greatly with future firmware updates. You can also configure different brightness settings for the LED lights to adjust battery consumption. There are 2 main ways you can charge your keyboard. One, with your computer. Just connect the keyboard through the neuron in wired mode. Use a 3.0 USB port for faster charging. You can also plug each side of the keyboard directly into a phone charger. If you charge your Dygma Raise 2 this way, make sure that the sides are turned off. It's very important that you use a low wattage charger of no more than 10 watts, which is 2 amps at 5 volts. Fast USB chargers or KVMs with a higher voltage or amperage can damage the keyboard. Let me also show you how you can read the battery level of the Dygma Raise 2 on the keyboard itself. By default, you can access the battery reading under the letter V on layer 3. One red LED means less than 10%. One green LED means between 10 and 40%. Two means between 40 and 70%. And three green LEDs means above 70%. If you press that same button while charging the keyboard, you will see that the lights blink in succession. Once the keyboard is fully charged, the lights will stop blinking and you will have 3 static green lights. Now that I have the keyboard connected, let's update the firmware and start configuring. You can configure your keyboard in RF, wired mode and Bluetooth. But for the initial setup, you will need the keyboard wired. Let's start. First, go to dygma.com/Bazecor and download the latest version of our configurator software, Bazecor. Install it and open it. You should see your keyboard on the main screen. Press Configure. If you don't see it, please ensure your keyboard is correctly connected. Now go to the firmware update section and follow the instructions to update your keyboard to the latest version and get the latest features and bug fixes. The firmware update takes a couple of minutes. We recommend keeping the Bazecor window active while flashing the firmware. If it's stuck for over 2 minutes, don't worry. Close Bazecor, reconnect the keyboard and try again. If you have any issues flashing the firmware, please check the links in the description below to help you troubleshoot. With the firmware update done, there's something else you might want to know: how backups work. Backups are files that keep all the information about the keyboard's configuration. The colors, the layers, the special keys, the settings, and Bazecor creates one every time you change anything on your layout. During the firmware update, there is a step in which your last backup is restored. Sometimes this step might not work. As a result, the keyboard reverts to a really weird factory mode, a basic layout with no lights. To restore your previous configuration, go to Preferences, Backups, and Restore Backup from File. In seconds, you'll be enjoying your setup again. If you have layouts or configurations from the OG Raise and you want to transfer them to the Raise 2, you can also load them here. Just make sure it's a backup created with Bazecor 1.6.1 or later. You can also load the default backups for the keyboard from here. You'll find a link to download those default backups in the description below. Now you're finally ready to configure your keyboard. Go to the layout editor and start changing keys, layers, colors, create macros, and SUPERKEYS, the lot. For a full breakdown of what you can do with Bazecor, please check this other video where a handsome guy will explain you everything you need to know about our configurator software. Anna, the handsome guy is me. Finally, let's talk about how to place the keyboard on your desk. For that, I'm gonna unplug the side so we have more room to work. As you can see, the keyboard will continue working on RF. Old habits die hard. The hand position on the keyboard is a very old habit, so you might feel uncomfortable the first time you use a split keyboard. We recommend starting with the keyboard attached or with the halves really close together. Once you get used to this position, you can start splitting the halves further apart. In no time, you will find yourself with the halves in front of your shoulders, which is really comfortable unless you have a lot of space for your mouse, a coffee, or a drawing tablet, or even food. If your keyboard has tenting, there are other things to consider. From a mechanical standpoint, remember, the small side legs have to be unfolded for the tenting to be stable. That is not the case for the reverse tilt positions. When you use them, the side legs must be folded to avoid wobble. From an ergonomic standpoint, as you use higher angles, the keyboard moves on a vertical axis. So you might need to adjust the height of your chair and the position of your elbows. Again, take it slow, start with small angles, and then keep moving up. Just make sure that your wrists are not above your elbows. If not, you can find yourself like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. We've made this joke a lot of times, but once more, it won't hurt.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
And that's basically it. We've linked a bunch of helpful videos about ergonomics, tenting, Bazecor, and much more all around me and in the description below. I hope you enjoy your new Dygma Raise 2 keyboard. And if you don't have one and for some reason you are watching this video, you can get one at dygma.com/raise2. Thanks for watching!